This morning, Hollywood was rocked by a series of photos of Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan suddenly appearing together on a peaceful street in Los Angeles. What made fans breathless was Dakota's second round, clearly showing signs of pregnancy, while Jamie Dornan was always by her side, his eyes never leaving her for even a second. Passers-by said that Jamie gently held Dakota's hand as she walked down the sidewalk, occasionally adjusting her coat in the early morning breeze. A close source shared, "They didn't need to say anything, just looking at Jamie's eyes, you could see he was protecting the most precious thing in his life." International media immediately exploded. The hashtag Jamie and Dakota baby climbed to the top of global trends in just a few hours. 50 Shades fans couldn't believe their eyes. The couple who rocked the screen were now back with signs of a new chapter in real life. If it's true, it could be the most beautiful love story Hollywood has ever seen, from screen to real life, entertainment experts say. Jamie Dornan has remained silent for now, but the image of him affectionately wrapping his arm around Dakota's waist speaks for itself. The online community is in a frenzy, with comments like, "I knew it, they were made for each other." Jamie looked at Dakota like the world was melting away and she was the only one left. If it's their child, it's the biggest bang of 2025. Jamie Dornan officially speaks out after Dakota Johnson's pregnancy news. Hollywood explodes over his answer. Collision. Just hours after the blockbuster, photos of Dakota Johnson showing off her baby bump next to Jamie Dornan spread all over social media. The 50 Shades actor finally broke his silence. In a quick interview on the sidelines of an event in Beverly Hills, Jamie appeared calm, but his eyes showed something both happy and confused. When the reporter asked about the rumor that Dakota was pregnant and whether he had anything to do with it, Jamie just smiled and said, "I think there are the most beautiful things in life that don't need to be explained. Just look, you will understand." That sentence made the whole Hollywood explode. Fans on social media called it the sweetest confession Jamie has ever made. The hashtag Jamie smiled and hashtag Dakota pregnant soared to the top of the global trending list within 20 minutes. A source close to the couple added, "Jamie and Dakota have been spending a lot of time together over the past few months. They try to keep things private, but their eyes don't lie." Many also claimed they saw Jamie taking Dakota to a private obstetrics clinic in Malibu last week, further cementing the pregnancy rumors. The 50 Shades fan community went crazy. "If it was their child, I would cry. They are proof that fate cannot be separated." Jamie and Dakota, a love story more beautiful than a movie. Clapperboard Hollywood is now waiting for one thing. Will Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson officially confirm the good news at the premiere of their upcoming movie in November? If so, this will be the most shocking event of 2025, marking a new chapter for the couple who once melted the world. Sparkling heart. Dakota Johnson crying as Jamie Dornan reveals a secret at the film premiere. The entire audience explodes. Collision. Last night, at the special premiere in Los Angeles, all the cameras were focused on Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, the two stars who created the legend of 50 Shades. No one expected that night to become a historic moment that would shock the whole of Hollywood. Dakota stepped out of the limousine in a tight pearl white dress, highlighting her full and gentle waist, a clear sign of a pregnant woman. The audience screamed, the camera flashes continuously went off. Meanwhile, Jamie, in a classic black tuxedo, walked up to hold her hand, his eyes filled with pride. On the red carpet, when asked, "Do you have anything to share with the fans today?" Jamie Dornan bowed slightly to look at Dakota, then spoke slowly to hundreds of reporters. "I've kept this secret for a long time. She's not just my co-star, not just the person who made me believe in love, but she's also the mother of my soon-to-be-born child." The whole auditorium exploded in cheers. Dakota couldn't hold back her tears, gently resting her head on his shoulder while Jamie gently placed his hand on her belly. The image spread across social media in just a few minutes, with millions of shares and the hashtag Jamie and Dakota forever. An eyewitness recounted, "No one was speechless. It was a genuine, sweet, emotional moment. They weren't actors anymore, they were two people in love." Glowing star after 10 years of overcoming rumors, distance, and prejudice, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson made the world believe in miracles. Not a movie, not a script. This is real love, written with time, tears, and faith. Dizzy Jamie Dornan closed the night with a quote that made the whole world choke up. "Sometimes the biggest miracle is when the person you used to play lovers with becomes real family." Rose Hollywood was silent for a second, then exploded forever. Dakota smiled amid the flashbulbs. Jamie took her hand and walked into the auditorium, as if they had officially ushered in a new era of love in Hollywood. Premiere night backstage, Jamie Dornan proposed to Dakota Johnson in a room full of candles, piano music. Ring. As the lights on the red carpet slowly dimmed, thinking the premiere was over, the real magic was just beginning. In the quiet backstage of the Dolby Theater, where only the soft piano music played, Jamie Dornan secretly prepared a moment that he called, what he owed Dakota for the past 10 years. Dakota walked into a room filled with white flowers and flickering candles. In the center, a classical piano was playing the melody of "Love Me Like You Do," a song that had been associated with them since 50 Shades. She froze, tears welling up in her eyes when she saw Jamie Dornan standing there, a small smile and a trembling but determined gaze. He moved closer, took her hand. "Dakota, we've played lovers, shared every fantasy moment. But what I feel, it's never been a lie. You've changed the way I see the world, and now, you're going to give me the most magical thing, a family." Jamie knelt down and opened the small velvet box. Inside was a teardrop-shaped diamond ring, reflecting the candlelight. "I don't want this to be just a Hollywood rumor anymore. Dakota Johnson, will you marry me?" Dakota burst into tears, her hands shaking over her mouth. She nodded amid the music and the dim lighting. Jamie stood up and held her tightly in his arms. Everyone in the room, a few relatives, managers, and close crew, were in tears. The next morning's media exploded. A series of headlines read, "Jamie Dornan officially proposes to Dakota Johnson. Hollywood witnesses the confession of the century. Love beyond all limits. Jamie Dakota turned the movie script into reality." Fans around the world wrote, "This is no longer a fictional love. This is the most beautiful chapter the whole world has been waiting for. 50 Shades ends, but Jamie and Dakota begin." Rose, the 10-year love story ended with a proposal, and opened a new chapter, the chapter called Forever. The candle-filled room that night became a symbol of a love that was no longer on the screen, but had stepped into real life, forever. Dizzy Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, from colleagues to destiny. And Hollywood, that night, witnessed a love story that surpassed all scripts. Jamie Dornan Dakota Johnson's secret wedding in Ireland, where everything began. Wedding. After their world-shaking proposal, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson chose Ireland, Jamie's homeland, to hold a secret wedding ceremony, reserved for only their closest friends. No media, no flashbulbs, just love, memories, and promises that will last forever. The setting was meticulously prepared at an ancient castle on the coast of County Down, where the sea breeze blew gently across the green fields, and the waves gently lapped against the cliffs. All were decorated with lavender and white candles, symbolizing peace and purity, true to the love they have nurtured for a decade. Bride Dakota Johnson appeared in a pure white lace wedding dress. Her figure was graceful, her face radiant with happiness. Person in tuxedo Jamie Dornan wore an ash gray suit, his eyes never leaving her for a second. When Dakota approached, Jamie whispered, "You are the only thing I want to protect, for the rest of my life." The moment Jamie lifted the veil and kissed the bride, the sea breeze seemed to stop. Some relatives burst into tears. The violin played All of Me, the song Jamie had chosen during the 50 Shades test years ago. During the ceremony, Chris Martin, Dakota's best friend, secretly sent them a new song written specifically for them called Home Is You. Jamie held Dakota's hand, tears welling up when he heard the lyrics. I searched the world for peace, but it was always you. I searched the world for peace, but it turns out, peace was always you. After the ceremony, the two released the lanterns into the sea. Jamie placed his hand on Dakota's belly and said softly, I want our child to know that he was born from true love, not a movie story. Rose the Irish night was quiet, with only the moonlight reflecting on the sea, a witness to love that transcended all limits. No need for a big announcement, no need for extravagant displays. For them, the most important thing was to be together, peaceful and true. Dizzy Jamie Dornan Dakota Johnson, from screen to real life, from Hollywood lights to Irish moonlight. They wrote one of the most beautiful love stories in the entertainment world, and this time, no more cut. Only, forever, sparkling heart.